Namo Stonantaya. Namo means I bow down. Tu means thou, to you. Namo Stonantaya. Anantaya, who is without any begin, middle, or end. Namo Stonantaya Sahasramurti. O Lord, you are not one, but you are numerous in forms and names. Sahasramurti, Sahasrapada, you walk on thousands of feet. Sahasranamni, you possess thousands of forms and have thousands of names, adoring and anointing those forms. Sahasranamne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasrakoti Yogadharine Namaha. And O Lord, you preside over Sahasrakoti, thousands and thousands and thousands of you, creations, you who look over them all. Pashyami Deva Savadeva Dehe Sarvastatha Bhuta Vishesha Sangha Brahmana Nisham Kamala Sanasta Vrishinsha Sarva Nuragansha Divyan Aneka Vaktra Bahu Vaktra Netram Pashyami Tvam Sarvatunanta Rupam Anantana Madhyam Nacha Punastavalim Pashyami Vishve Shwara Vishwarupa Kiritinam Garinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rashim Sarvatodiptamanantam Pashyami Tvam Dur Nirikshayam Samantat Diptanalarkat Yutima Prameyam Tvamaksharam Paramam Veditavyam Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Tvamabhyayah Shashvata Dharma Gota Sanatanastvam Purusho Matome. In these beautiful prayers, as Arjuna look at the divine form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna when he took his Virat Roop, Arjuna uttered these beautiful prayers having seen the divine form of the Lord. Arjuna said, Lord, I behold within your body all the gods and hosts of different beings. Brahma, throned on the lotus seat, Shiva, and the rishis and the celestial serpent. O Lord of the universe, I see you endowed with numerous arms and bellies and mouths and eyes, and having innumerable form extended on all sides. O Lord, manifested in the divine of the universe, I see neither your beginning nor your middle nor end. I see you endowed with the club discus and a mass of splendor glowing around you, having the brilliance of a blazing fire and the sun, hard to gaze at, and immeasurably on all sides. You are the supreme, indestructible, worthy of being known. You are the ultimate refuge to this universe. You are again the protector of the ageless Dharma. I consider you to be the eternal, imperishable being. These are the prayers that Arjuna uttered as he was looking at the divine form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the battlefield. I will start tonight with one chaupai from Aranyakand of Ramcharitamanas. Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Sri Ram Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Rama. Give Hari Hari Rupa, give Hari Hari Rupa, Bhushana Rupa, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram. We have seen that there was this vulture called Jatayu. Jatayu was a bird. And Jatayu fed himself on animals and other creatures. He was a vulture. But Jatayu had another being inside that was not reflecting outside. So despite his physical appearance, Jatayu had another form within that form. And that form that was within was a form that was thinking. That is a form that was seeing. That is a form that was hearing. And that is a form of a higher status, of a higher level of consciousness. So much so, when Ravan chopped his wing off and Jatayu fell to the ground and he was dying, and as his soul was leaving his body was oozing away blood. Wing chopped off, and he was grasping for the last breath of his life. But in those last moments, Jatayu's mind was totally occupied with Sri Ram. Ram, 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 Ram. His mind was only permeated with Sri Ram. He didn't even realize that there was pain. There was no pain. At that point, his mind was totally fixed on Sri Ram. When we're visiting a dying patient, and we stand there, and we see somebody who is dying, the person's body is emaciating, is losing all its shapes. The skin is drawing down into the bone. And we watch that individual in that state. And there's so many thoughts that are going through our mind. That this person is suffering, this person is this person is that. Your duty at that time is only one duty you have. One duty only you have. A person who has a balanced mind will stand there and they will chant for that individual to hear the divine name of God. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Simple song that the person mind can be occupied with. When the soul is totally permeated with the divine name of Bhagwan, the person will forget the human body. There are many people who are in their dying beds when I go to visit them. And they will say to me at one point, Pandit, I don't want to die. And they refuse to want to die, even though they know that there is no choice at this time. But they'll hold on and they'll say, I don't want to die. And then you go back a day or two later, and that same person mind get totally turned around. And that person is already prepared to go. There are many times I've gone and see people in their dying beds. I've gone to patients that the doctor has already turned their backs and said it's over. You go there and you chant a few mantras, and the person got up and sit down. The doctor ran in. This was one Christian Janmashtami night I could never forget. The doctor ran in and said, what just happened? And the family member says, this is our priest, and he was just praying. And the doctor says, continue praying. And he just turned around and he walked out, only to realize that that person lived for more than 6 months later before passing. What is going on inside and what is going on outside is totally different. We must not judge what is going on outside, but we must prepare the inside for that moment. This Jatayu gave up his physical form. And when he gave up his physical form, he stood up in front of Bhagwan Sri Ram. And how did he look at that point? He took the very form of Bhagwan Vishnu, having 4 hands, and standing in front of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Bhushan Bahupatapita Anupa. And he was wearing a yellow dhoti. And he was decked beautifully with all the ornaments that Bhagavan Vishnu is decked with. And he stood up there and he was looking at Bhagavan Sri Ram and praising Bhagavan Sri Ram in so many beautiful praise. Jaya Rama Rupa Anupa Nirguna Saguna Guna Preraka Sahi. And he went on praising Bhagavan Sri Ram. He says, you are not the Lord of this universe who is both with forms and without forms. You are the one with many forms and you are the one with no form. And so he went on to praise Bhagavan Sri Ram. I always say, and I said most of the times when I'm at funerals, that when we are alive, we look at each other, we point at each other, and we call each other by name. Mr. So, Miss So, Mistress So, and we give people all kind of, we label them based on their names. Some people get very offended if you don't put the doctor in front, if they have a doctorate. Some people get very offended if you do not place their label in the right positions. People like to be identified with beautiful labels. As long as we are alive, we carry many labels. Devotees. The moment the soul leaves the body and the person is lying down there, the doctor gone, the Mr. gone, the Miss gone, the name gone. The wife says, I don't want him in the house no more. Just take him away. Or the husband says, look, I don't want. Can you imagine? You go to a house that there is a death in the family and everybody says, oh, we have seen him, it's okay, we're going now. The wife would say, where are you guys going? You can't leave him here. You don't belong here. You have to take him from here. And now he is no longer the loving person we knew all the time. Now it's called a lash. A lifeless body. Very quickly, the cremation takes place. And when the cremation takes place, the light bulb comes on. Now all of a sudden the person has a soul. All the time the person did not have a soul. All the time we never seen the soul in this individual. Have you ever heard anybody offended because you did not say that you are a part of the divine Lord and you have a soul? Nobody even realizes you have a soul. We're walking around. We're not thinking that we do have a soul within us. Only when we die, the cremation is done, all of a sudden the person has a soul. Now everybody starts wondering, what are we going to do now? This is a zombie standing around. What are we going to do now? We have to do something. Believe me, I've seen many stories too. You know, whole village can't sleep. Not only one individual, not only the immediate family, but whole village can't sleep. We have seen all of that. What happens after death is always another question. And last night, that was the basis of our question. Last night we spoke of the human form. We spoke of what is Pitri, and we spoke of what is a Prait. What is a Pitri and what is a Prait? A Prait is a wandering soul without any physical form, but a wandering soul that has no rest. A Pitri is a person who has merged with the ancestors and become one with the ancestors. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute from now the difference again. So we explained last night that Tulsidas Ji met with a priest. And that priest was in dire need. That priest was in dire need, and he begged of Tulsidas Ji and thanked him for throwing water on the root of that gum tree where that priest was dwelling. And the water that is impure, that was falling there, that liberated him. Tonight we will see another similar Katha. But just before we do that, let us look at one verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam Puraan. Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukh dur kare Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Jai Dukhiyo ko dukh dur kare Krishna Hare Dharmasya mamatubhyam cha Kurumara bhavasya cha Vijnanasya cha Yajnasya Paradyatma Parayan Aham bhavan bhavasyevata Ine manusho vrajana Surasura Naranaga Katha Vrihasani Srisham Gandharva Apsara Soyaksha Raksho Bhutagano Dadaha Pashvam Pitaraha Siddha Vidyajastarana Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare The Upanishad defines God. And how the Upanishad defines God? The Upanishad defines God like you go to the goldsmith and you have 1 pound of gold. And you tell the goldsmith, I need earrings, fingerings, bangles, and whatever else ornaments you need. You go back the next day and you find beautiful decorations of jewelry, earring, fingerings, and so many beautiful jewelry displayed in front of you. And the goldsmith says, here is all your jewelry. Where is your 1 pound of gold, you ask? And the goldsmith says, these are your 1 pound of gold. Now they have different names. Their earring, their chain, their fingering, They have different names. But one thing never changed. What never changed? Gold. All of them are gold, now with different names and different forms. Bhagavan in the beginning is one. Last night I explained Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate, and from his being, different forms came. And Shrimad Bhagavatam explained Gandharva Saro Raso Yaksha Raksho Bhuta Garno Ragava. From him, from this divine Lord, came the Gandharva, all the celestial beings. From him came the Apsaras, all the celestial dancers. Yaksho, all the Yakshas. Pashua, all the animals, all Pitara, and the ancestors also came from that divine form of Bhagavan. Whenever we give praise to God at the funeral, we say, Anagini Dhanu Deva Shanka Chakra Gadadara Akshay Pundrikaksha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava or Pitra Moksha Prado Bhava. Whatever is we're defining Bhagavan Vishnu's divine form with lotus-like eyes and beautiful form standing before us. And Garud Puran described two forms of Yamaraj. One form of Yamaraj is Bhagavan Vishnu in that divine form. And the other form of Yamaraj is a person who is very, very, very dark in complexion and riding on the back of a bull. And he has a bash, a whip in his hand. Devotees, the same Yamaraj don't come for everybody. Different Yamaraj come for different people. This is what the Garud Puran tells us. Yamaraj has beautiful names. Yamaya, Dharmarajaya, Nrityave, Jantakaya, Vaivasvata, Kalaya, Sarva Bhutakshaya, Audumbaraya, Dharnaya, Nilaya, Parmeshtine. Beautiful names. What Yamaya mean? Yama means rules and regulations. If you don't follow the rules and the regulations that is laid down, you're breaking the rules, then you are in opposition to God. Yamai, Dharmarajaya, he's always just. That Bhagavan, he's never unjust to nobody. Whatever the consequences that come your way is your own karma. Simple. Dharmaraja, Mrityu, is dead. And you know, he has another beautiful name. And his name is Audumbarai, Dharanai, Nilai, Parmeshne, Brikodharaya. You know what Brikodharaya means? His belly is so big that he will consume everything. And his stomach will not be filled. During COVID, people were wondering, wonder when Bhagavan Yamaraj's belly is going to full so that he will stop. Devotees, that's not how it happens. He can take him on and in. Now, when we look at Yamaraj and we look at Bhagavan Vishnu, what are the differences? What are the differences between the two? If you read chapter 11 very nicely, I don't want to go back into it, but I will give you your homework. You go and take a look at it And Arjuna described in chapter 11, he says, my Lord, when I look at your form standing in front of me, I saw that you are chewing all these warriors in the battlefield, and sometimes they stick between your teeth. You need toothpick. This is Bhagavan Vishnu. So what is the difference between Yamaraj and Bhagavan Vishnu? Devotees, there's no difference. This is one God. We're not talking about two different individuals. We're talking about one and the same. The Pitras were created at the time of creation, not after your father or grandfather died. No. I will explain that in a few minutes. Jatayu gained moksha. Bhagavan gave Jatayu moksha instantly. He sent Jatayu, give him his own divine form and give him moksha. But what Tulsidas ji wrote? Tulsidas ji wrote, Agrala Bhagati Mangivar Gida Gayo Haridham. That Gid went to Haridham. He went to the place of Bhagavan. Vishnu, his own abode. Tehi kahi kriya jot chit nij kar ki ram. And even though he gained the moksha, devotees, Bhagavan Sri Ram went, took till and water and performed tarpan and performed the entire kriya of Jatayu, performed his entire shraddha. Even though he gained the moksha, Bhagavan still performed his shraddha. Why is shraddha being performed? And that is the question for tonight's Katha. I wonder if we have enough time for it. I made a little diagram. I like to make diagrams. Who is our Pitras? So now we understand who is our Pitras. This here is Discourse 6. That is the glories of the cosmic being from Shrimad Bhagavatam, Book 1. That is Discourse 6. And the verse is 13 that I just recited. At the time of creation, Bhagavan took the form of Pitra. Pitras were created at the time of creation. These devas are Pitri Deva. Vasu, Rudra, and Aditya. There are three devatas. When someone father dies and the Varshik Shraddha is done, that person is transformed from a pret and that person becomes a Pitra. This is the Pitra, Vasu. So now the father is no longer an individual, but that father became a Devata, became Vasu Devata. When a mother passed, the mother also becomes Vasu. So we realize when everybody passed, they become Vasu. So the father is Vasu. The grandfather is Rudra. So if a person's father passes, the father becomes Vasu. But when the son comes along, the son does not call the father Vasu. The son calls the father Rudra. The grandson calls the father Aditya. So technically it is one Devata with three different forms. The same father is called grandfather by the son, and is called great-grandfather by the grandson. So this one Devata is not different. So these three forms are actually one. So this is called Pitri Deo. So at the time when one passes and the Shraddha is being done, that person becomes transformed and that person takes on the form of a Devata. Devotees, this time of Pitri Paksh, we're not worshipping the Jambi. Don't get it wrong. We are not worshipping ghosts. We are worshipping special Devata. We are worshipping Bhagavan Vishnu in his divine form. That is called Pitri Deo. I just defined to you. He stands very nice in front of Shivali. And Shivali saw this Bhagavan Ram. He stands there blowing his basuri. And the same Bhagavan Shri Krishna who was blowing the basuri, Arjuna is now defining that with his teeth he's crushing the skulls of those in the battlefield. What is the difference with this one Lord who has now gotten a different form? Arjuna begged quickly, "Oh Bhagavan, I don't want to see this form. Show me back the other one that used to blow the basuri. I like that one better." Isn't that so? That's Shri Krishna. Very quickly, that was the preamble to tonight. So you're not going home at 10 o'clock tonight, but I will make this short. कृत्य युग वंश देश में बब्रुवाहन नामक एक राजा था। एक पक्षीराज, वह समुद्र से चारों ओर ढेरी हुई अपने पृथ्वी के धर्म अनुसार भली भांति रक्षा करता था। That there was once a king, very honorable king. His name was Bhabruvahan. And Bhabruvahan was very just. In his time, people lived a healthy, happy, prosperous life. किसी समय उस राजा ने एक घोड़ सवार सैनिकों को साथ लेकर मृगया के लिए एक घने वन में प्रस्थान किया. And one day he took all his ministers from his army and he went deep into the forest to hunt. As he was going into the forest, चलते चलते उस राजा ने नंदन वन में समान एक वन दिखाई पड़ी. And he went very dense, deep into the forest. वह वन विलम मंदर खबीर कैट तथा वंश के वृक्षों के and different trees that you would not see in the close proximity of the cities were there deep down into the forest. और मृग सिंह तथा अन्य महाभयंकर सिंहक जीव जंतु उसमें भरे हुए. And in the dense forest there were many ferocious animals, and among them the wonderful deer as well. इस बार राजा ने किसी एक मृग के कुक्षी भाग में बाण का प्रहार किया. And he saw this very attractive deer that he pursued, and he went behind that deer. The deer indeed penetrated into the dense forest. You know, that's the deer territory. He knows where to go. The king doesn't. He's new here. And eventually he got lost. The king got lost from his entire army, and now he is dense into the forest. As he got into the forest, Tarantar, उस सरोवर के लाल एवं नील कमल का पराग्रह से सुगंधित शीतल जल से पीकर वह जल से बाहर आया। मार्ग में अत्याधिक चलने के कारण थके हुए। So the king, after pursuing the deer for a while, he is now thirsty, he is hungry, he is tired. He came to a beautiful pond where there are beautiful lotuses, red lotuses, blue lotuses, different colors of lotus, fresh water, and he drank water. After he drank water, he became very tired, and he lay down and fell asleep. राजा के सोते ही वहां 100 प्रेत साथ घूमता हुआ. And then, as he was sleeping, many prayed him, and they came in his presence. These prayed are those who die and they do not have a physical body. You know, prayed is a different thing. If we bring our karmic qualities below the animal level, we are living in the same level of the prey. According to Sanatan Dharma, there are 8,400,000 species. Varabhagya, Manusha, Tanapava, human beings are the highest. And then there are many other animals and all kinds of worms and insects and everything, all the way down. You know, I always sit down and wonder, that 10, 20,000 years ago, when we did not have all this technology and we did not even know the totality of this whole Earth's sphere, wonder which genius counted 8,400,000 species of living beings. Those that fly in the air, those that live in the land, those that live in the water, and they live in all these different regions. Which genius counted? I would really like to see that person. And that is what is written in our scriptures. You want me to tell you something surprising? Anybody want me to tell you something surprising? Google how many species are currently on Earth. You don't have to do it now. You will be surprised. Now that science is so advanced, and science can go to the depth of the ocean and they can go to the moon and beyond. And now they have the capability to calculate all of this. Devotees, you will be surprised by the number. Our saints and sages, back in the time, were no fools. They were very, very, very advanced. So much so that they calculated the exact distance between the earth and the sun. And Tulsidas wrote it in Hanuman Chalisa. Devotees, these are geniuses. They knew that you should not use the sun to calculate astrology. You should use the moon. And those that did use the sun to calculate it, now they realize their folly. Now they realize that they made tremendous, tremendous blunder with the system. And now everybody is going back to the Eastern system to calculate astrology. This is our saints and sages we're talking about. These are the saints and sages who wrote our scriptures. So there are 8,400,000 species. And when you come to such a degradable level where you could not find yourself among one of the species, even though you are living in a physical form, devotees, you are one of those prey, you are one of those Bhut. It's easy for the prey or the Bhut to transit in and out of you. Believe me, we have seen many in our communities. We've seen many so far, and do not underestimate the power of the prey. So the king woke up, and when he woke up, one of these prey addressed him and spoke to him. और कौतूहल हो उठा, उन्होंने प्रेत पूछा कि तुम कौन हो? He asked the prey, who are you? And the prey spoke to him. तुम्हें यह वृद्धि शरीर कैसे प्राप्त हुआ? And now you have this very horrible looking form. How is it that you have acquired this form, Rajan? जिन प्राणियों के अग्नि संस्कार के श्राद्ध, तर्पण और शतपिंड दसगात्र सपिंडीकरण नहीं हुआ है, वह विश्वासघाती, मद्यपी और स्वर्णचारो रहे हैं. And now he's explaining that when someone dies and the proper shraddha is not done for them, when what is worried about in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Lukta Pindodaka Kriya, Arjuna was worried that when tarpan is not going to be done, when shraddha is not going to be offered on behalf of the dead, then what will become the soul? And Arjuna said in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, devotees, that they are going to be dwelling in hell. Jai Shri Krishna. So here we see that there is a consequence for when shraddha is not being done. Today, there are many children. You know, one individual told the son, he says, when we dead, just wrap me up in a white cotton and burn me and throw ash inside the ocean, and that's it. You don't need to do nothing anymore. So the son told me, happened to be some distant relative. And I said, no, you'll have to do the shraddha for your father. And he said, okay, I will do it. But he said he don't want it. I said, he's foolish. You can be foolish. You know? So I sat with him, performed the shraddha. It was the middle of winter. Over your knee there was snow in New York. And we performed the shraddha and we put the pinda outside. And when we put the pinda outside, devotees, I have never seen so many crows together at one time. The entire backyard was dark with crows. They came at the pinda, they disappeared, we didn't see them. On the 11th day, we didn't do anything. We came back on the 12th day, we performed the shraddha. The minute he took the pindas outside, those crows reappeared, eat the pinda, and disappeared. I was just telling Sarla this just now. We would have brought the pindas in here, you would have counted them. I did 13 of them this morning. I went to the backyard and there were only 10. And I wondered, where did they go? I mean, they just disappeared, literally. It is not like something come and eat a portion of it and just left. Obviously, something took it, you know. But sometimes these things cause you to ask some questions that you don't have answers for. And when he saw that, he himself become sober, and he says, wow, I've never seen this before. These crows never came here. All of a sudden, they appeared. They ate the pinda, they disappeared. They did not come the next day. How they know that we were doing Shraddha on the 12th day? They came back on the 12th day at the Pinda and they left. So this Pret was asking this king, he said that I am in this form because there was no one to perform my Shraddha. And so all of these that are here, they need relief as well. That Pret, his name was Sudeo. He begged of the king. He said, while I was alive, I was a merchant. I accumulated lots of wealth. I did many things. But I did not have anyone to perform my Shraddha. As a result, I am in this plight. Please help me. He told the king where he had left some gems. Please take that gem, transfer them into money, and please perform my Shraddha for me. Now we're talking something different here. He did not have anybody to perform his Shraddha. Now he's asking the king to perform his Shraddha. Who is the king to him? Is there any relationship here? No? Yes, there's some relationship. Anybody know Bible?
No.
Do you know who pays his salary? Do you know who pays his rent? Who pays his salary?
We do.
You pay his salary. You pay his rent. You put food on his table. He lives on your sweat. He owes you. The Pandit come to perform puja at your house. You give him dakshina. He owes you. So we have a relationship with each other that we are not realizing we do. So according to Sanatan Dharma, anybody can do your Shraddha. Anybody. First and foremost is the eldest son in the family. If not, leave all the 21 in between and go to the last one. Number 22. If you have 21 sons, 22 sons, let the last one do the Shraddha. If not the first one, the last one. And if not the last one, anyone in between. This is what Garud Puran describes. For some reason or the other, there is some extra law for the one in front. And there is also some extra law for the one at the back. I don't know logically how this works. And if not, any one of the sons in between can do it. If not sons, the daughter should do it. If not the daughter, the next person in line is the brother's son. Or the Pandit, you, or the king. So anybody can perform your Shraddha. Tomorrow I will talk about Tarpan, why we do it, how we do it, and who receives it. So when you come tomorrow, you will have that discussion. So the king took the wealth that this man had secured somewhere. Well, I don't know where you're going to hide yours in case nobody did your Shraddha. You know what I always say to people in New York? I always say to them that you best do what you can do for yourself when you are alive. Don't count on your children. If you do the right things, they're going to see and they're going to do the right things for you. But if you are counting on your child, all the money that you save up in the bank, as soon as your eyes close, devotees, sometimes I wait until you're dead. Guy said, I'm me. All of a sudden it become mine. It's no longer yours. And then, when I have it, I will spend it how I want to spend it. You think I'm going to spend it stupid? No. You don't let a God your business. I'm going to use it the way I want to use it. So devotees, you spend whatever you can while you are alive to do what you can for your own benefit. Don't count for somebody else to do it for you. Hare Krishna. So, he happened to have some. If you save some of your wealth by giving down, by doing good, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 says that should not be left alone. That should be done. You must give down because that purifies you. You must give gifts that purifies you. You must perform good acts, religious duties that purifies you. So devotees, you can purify yourself while you're alive. Don't wait until you die for someone to do the shrine, even though it is necessary. There's somebody who came to me and asked me, this is one question you might want to ask. Let me ask it for you. You can answer it if you want to. Can I do my own shrine while I'm alive? That is a good question, isn't that so? You know what Garud Puran says? Garud Puran says the minute you've done the shrine, you're dead. That means you are no longer a living person. Nobody should eat from you, you are impure. Nobody should take any dawn from you, nobody should take any dakshina from you, nobody should communicate with you. You are considered a dead person. So if you do your own shrine, only one person is allowed to do their own shrine. You want to tell me who? Who? Only saints and sages who have given up their attachment for this world. They first must give up their family, they must give up our relationship, they must give up everything else. And that saints and sages become at a different level when they, all our saints, before they take to sannyas, they go and sit down and do their own shrine with their own hand. Their guru will recommend that they do their own shrine before they enter into sannyas. Hare Krishna. They are qualified. You are not. So, he was not able to do his shrine, and so he begged for someone to perform his shrine. Babrubahan, this great king, he was very pious, he was very good. He sat down and performed the entire shrine. And having performed the shrine, it is written very nicely that Raja apne nagar chala gaya. The king went back to his city. Tarantar uske kirtiman masik purnima tatha aane par isko prapt hui. And another important thing is there is a time for this to be done. And there are 2 times that are prescribed here. And the times that are prescribed here is Taratar us Kartik Mas ki Purnima, on the day of Kartik Purnima. Anybody know what day that is? Kartik Purnima is 6th of November? No, it's later. It's almost the end of November. 26th. That is Tirat Day.
Yes,
On Tirat Day, you can perform tarpan and shraddha for your ancestors. You should go to the Ganga and you should take bath, and there you should make offerings for your ancestors. Devotees, it's a very good day for us to perform the Shraddha for our ancestors. And कार्तिक मास की पूर्णिमा तिथि, on that day, आने पर उस प्राप्त हुई मणि के धन से, and the next date that is very appropriate is this time that we are actually performing our Pitri Puja. This timing is very important for us to perform our ancestral puja in Pitri Paksh. और सुवर्ण सुशोभित हो उठे और उसके राजा के प्रमाण किया, and the king performed all the necessary rites. And so you can do Shraddha on Kartik Purnima for your liberation of your ancestors. That's one day in the month of Kartik, 2 weeks in this time of Pitri Paksh. Whatever you do this time, devotees, the good that you do in this time of Shraddha Paksh multiplies thousandfolds, and your ancestors are definitely going to be pleased with you. This time we should not forgo. This time we should always sit down and perform Shraddha. Every day we should do. There are Panch Mahayagya. We should do 5 yag every day. What are the 5 yags? Anybody know them? Panch Mahayagya? No? Let me tell you them. There yag. You should worship Bhagwan. First duty. You can tell us. Second yag. Pitri yag. You must do tarpan every day. You must offer til and water for your ancestors every day. Third yag. Rishi yag. You must read your scriptures every day. You know how beautiful it feels to sit down very quietly and read and get immersed into your scriptures. It is so beautiful. You know, God bless retirement. I sat down most of today from the time I got up in the morning. We perform our pindas and everything in Sanatan. I read until, you know, I was ready to leave to come to the Mandir. Rishi, you must read your scriptures every day, devotees. This next one is Bhutya. You must take care of any living thing in your presence. You must always provide for other living things. Feed the birds, feed the animals. You know, back in our times, we used to have our animals, and today, dog na animal picnic. You know, dog people picnic today. You know, Katha people picnic today. You can't call them animals no more. They have elevated in status. You know, people picnic get demoted. Dog get promoted. You know. So, and the last one is what? The last one is Atithiya. Atithiya. Atithi Devo Bhava. When a guest comes to your house, that guest is Bhagwan, Purna. His entire form has come to your house. That's Bhagwan who has come to your home. You must get up and go open the door for them. Bring them, come inside. Sit them down. Offer them a glass of water. No beer. You know, offer them a glass of water. Offer them something to eat. Atiti, dear God. And when the guest is leaving the house, devotees, do not walk in front. where you should be walking? You should be walking in the footsteps of the person. As the person is walking out of the house, you should be walking behind the person. You know why you're walking behind the person? That is the only time that you get a chance to walk in the footsteps of Bhagavan Vishnu himself. Hare Krishna. This is Sanatan Dharma. That is the only time you get a chance to walk in the very footsteps of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. When someone comes to your house, no matter who that individual is, your enemy, the minute he crosses your door and he comes into your house, is Bhagavan. Don't fight with him. You might go he house to fight with him. Or when you go he house, guess what? Guess what? You are Bhagavan. So, don't fight can happen anyway. Hare Krishna. So, as soon as he finished performing the Shraddh, मासिक पूर्णिमा तिथि आने पर उस प्राप्त हुई मणि के धन से प्रेत के निवृत्त के लिए विधि विद्वत वृकोत्सर्ग किया। हे गरुड़, उस संस्कार के पूर्ण होते वह प्रेत भी तत्काल स्वर्ण देह से सुशोभित हो उठा और उससे राजा के प्रणाम किया। And when he performed the Shraddh, devotees, in the presence of the king, a person arose and stood up and bowed to the king. That person was resplendent like gold. He was brilliant. His body became brilliant like gold. He was this. Garud Puran described him when Vabrubahan saw him as a ghost, and he was horrible looking. And now, after the Shraddh was performed, his entire body become so beautiful with luster that he shines like gold before him, and he bowed to the king. Devotees, you who perform Shraddh, you do not know how much good you are accumulating in your life. Today, you go to places like Guyana, and you know what's happening? Instead of doing Shraddh for the mother, the father, when the person died, at that point, they become Arya Samaj. That means there is no pinda, there is no tarpan, all these things are not necessary. You just sit down, you do a little hawat, and everything is okay, and everybody gone to, you buy a couple boxes of beers and everybody start having fun. There's no necessity for Shraddh. Or at that moment, all of a sudden people become Christian. People don't do Shraddh no more. Oh, what is their complaint? You know what they complain? Oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. Let me tell you something about Shraddh so you can understand. If you go home and you do it by yourself, without a pandit, you can still do it. You can still do it without a pandit. Even it is recommended that you must invite a Brahman and let him sit down, perform the Shraddh, and that Katha I will be reading maybe either tomorrow night or Friday night. But I will explain that in detail. So at this point, he bowed to the king, and the soul became liberated. Thank you very much for your patience and your listening. So I want us to understand this concept of Shroud. So we started last night, and I highlighted a few people that were actual members of this Mandir, and they have passed on. And I have a name of a wonderful gentleman here, and these will bring a lot of memories back to Dad. He was a very good friend of his. This was old Pandit Bhagavad. Pandit Bhagavad was a very good friend, and he passed. He joined the Mandir in the very early days of the Mandir. There is one person, his name was Walter. Walter was a very ardent devotee who attended very regularly. Everybody who comes to Mandir is an important individual. No matter you come and you just sit down and you just listen to Katha, you're important. There is a very important couple, both husband and wife passed, God bless their soul. And they are Madhav Acharya, and we used to call him Pandit Paisa, and his wife is Dharta, we used to call her Data. So they also joined the Mandir in the very earlier days. We'll be performing some simple tarpan on their behalf. And Pandit Sharma, who currently lives in Orlando, his wife was Maharani, and we used to call her Raniji, and she is Rani Sharma, and they were here with this Mandir in the very earlier days. You have to remember, when this Mandir existed back in the 1990s, late 1990s, early 1990s, there was not a Mandirs here around in Orlando, Kissimmee area. This Mandir has been dragging around for a very long time. And thanks to all the devotees, today we have what we are having. That is because people like these, they had faith. Even though God bless their soul that they have gone to the beyond, they have faith that something like this will happen sometime. Uncle Haridas and his wife was Auntie Rukmin. Uncle Haridas used to play dholak, and his wife used to sing, both of them. They used to come, and wherever Daddy goes to do puja, they all go with Daddy, and they will sing at people's puja. There was one gentleman, his name was Hari Pandey. Hari Pandey was once the president of this Mandir. And when you go up there, you will see how many presidents. This is I think, the fourth of all the presidents that I've been announcing so far. So Hari Pandey was once the president, his wife was once the secretary of this Mandir. And when this Mandir moved from Orange Blossom Trail, where the Honda dealership is right now, we moved to Mr. Hari Pandey's garage, and there is where the Mandir was kept for a little bit until we moved from there. Pandit Katha Prasad is the father-in-law, and his Dharmapatni. They were the in-laws of Hari Pandeyji, and we do pray and ask Bhagwan for them. So we had quite a number of Pandits in those days who actually belonged to this organization. There is a devotee, her name was Radha, and her correct name is Kunti. She was also an ardent devotee of the Mandir. And last but not least, I have a few other names. This is my Bhupha Ramdat, and he's Chandradat Singh. And when the Mandir moved from the garage of Hari Pandeyji, we went to a friend of mine in Hiawassee area there, and we had the service held in the garage. And some while afterwards, the service moved to my Pua's, their house. And I had moved back to New York in those days, and then the Mandir moved to a few other people's house until it wound up at my dad's house for quite a number of years before we purchased this land and moved here. So when you see these, also you will see a history of this Mandir, where it started under a tree in Kissimmee, and today it is what we're seeing here. Sometimes perseverance and dedication goes a very far way, and this Mandir is a true example of that. Thank you very much. Dad would like to say something tonight. I give him a mic last night to say something, he starts singing. So tonight he seems like he wants to talk. Well, let's listen to him for a minute.
Om Anadini Dhanudeva Shankar Chakra Gadadhara Akshay Pundarika Preta Moksho Pradobhava. Devotees, we enjoy Panditji with all those wonderful story givers from the scripture. But I just want to add a little from my reading. Dundu Kariyeka Preta Mahakal Usi Katha se ho gaye para pyara Usi Katha se ho gaye pyara. The Hindu scripture tells us that there was a boy by the name of Dundukari. He was very sinful. He did the most sinful thing in this world. And so, because of his sin that he performed, he actually caused the death of his own mother and father. That was Dundukari. And he became a prey. Like now, we have the season now of Pitri Paksh. He become a prey, a ghost, and he wander here and there, suffer. But he had a very good brother by the name of Garud Puran, a very devotional brother. So one night the brother was sleeping, and as a ghost, he entered into the brother's room, and he gave a voice to the brother, and the brother was afraid of his voice. And when the brother looked, the brother was asking, who is this real person? Then Dundukari was telling his brother that I am your brother Dundukari, but brother, I am suffering very much. Can you do something to help me? And so Garud Puran was a great devotee of Bhagwan. He went to all the Rishi and the Muni, and he asked, what can I do to elevate my brother? He's a ghost, and he's suffering here and there. And so the brother, all the Rishi and Muni tell him that the only solution you can have to this is to listen to the Bhagavad Gita. And so devotees, the brother established the Bhagavad Gita. And the 7 days, the Katha was going on very wonderful. And this ghost, Dundukari, there was a bamboo there. And every adhyay finished, a night finished, the bamboo burst, and the ghost come from one joint to the next joint. Until on the 7 days, the ghost came out. And so devotees, the Bhagavad tells us, Dundu Karyeka Preta Mahaka Usi Katha se ho gaye para pyara Usi Katha se pyara. And that ghost was transformed now into a great devotee of Bhagwan. So my talk today really what I do every morning and Pitri Paksh. I don't do too much, Pandit do a lot, but I don't do too much. But what I do, I have a thari and a lota, and I put water in the lota and put black till, and I just throw the water and it must drain between these two fingers, and calling him Tripyan Tam, whose name Tripyan Tam, and we can write the name and give you all if you don't know. And I ask you all if you all can continue this until the Pitri Paksh finish. And that will be able to release through the blessing of Bhagwan. Bhagwan really is going to give that blessing if you all can be able to do it for your ancestors who died and gone. You can be able to call them in your mother name, your father name, your great grandfather, and whosoever name until the Pitri Paksh finish. Just only get till into a lota water, throw it, and it must pass between these two fingers, and call the name, and say Tripyan Tam, and call the name, and so the devotees, you may not believe according to our scripture, they can be able to deliver from the problem, the distress, the trouble, and they can be very happy. So this is my talk today. We all have family, and it is very good for us to do things to help them. So thank you very much. Thank you all this wonderful talk that Pandit have given us.
Thank you
very much. But I just want to tell that what I do every morning, I do a little for my ancestors. Only that I do, not anything more. And the word only is Tripyan Tam, and let the water come through between this finger. And you get it till and inside. And I ask everyone, can you able to do this until Pitri Paksh finish? And it will be able to help your father, mother, or whosoever die really. It will help them a lot to rear the soul, because Bhagwan deal with this now. Once you perform this, Bhagwan is going to deal with this. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dad. And you know, one thing I admire Dad for, and that is he always spend quality time to do good for others and to give advice so that others can, lift themselves up. And it is indeed a blessing. You know, when we come to meet with each other, it is not an accident. We are destined to meet with each other. And when you meet with good people in your life, you must know that those good qualities are going to be transmitted into you. And your own life will be elevated. We sit, we listen to chanting of the name of Bhagwan. This interaction is bringing a transformation in our life. Lupta Pinda Daka Kriya, it might be simple, we are offering a pinda or we are offering some water. It seems simple, devotees, to those who need it. It is not simple. You know, if a person is dying of thirst and you have 1 barrel water, you would not know the value of that 1 barrel water. But the moment you drop 1 spoonful into that person's throat, that person is going to feel the difference. You would not understand the value of the one Bhagavata, but that person would. And that is why this time Pitri Paksh is so important. We have passed our 9 o'clock mark tonight. We will, I would, this time I would really like to ask for questions, but it's too late. We will stand up for our final asking, and I'm going to perform Katha on behalf of these individuals. Who, so while the arti is going on, I'm going to do the Katha. Maharaj, join the devotees in arti. And before
Bhagwan ki arati, opposite arati.
Tonight, Uncle Bacon and Kulili donated $500 to Mandir, which we are indeed grateful to you for your donation. And every one of you here are definitely making a difference in your own way. Uncle Bacon and Kulili, they're the real hard workers for this Mandir. They're always present here. Sometimes when you are not here, they are here. So, well, we are not here, but they're here. So, we must be, we are indebted to them here and all that they are doing for us. We don't want to put your names on the wall. Right now, only special people's names are going there, but you guys are indeed devotees that make a difference for others. Thank you again. God bless you. Thank you. All right, we can.
हरो हरि मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तमे बार बार वरमां प्रभो हरसर्वसिद्धं वत्सरोजनं भावये भक्त सदा सत्संगशिला हरे रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु महाबली महादेव की जय पवन सदा हनुमान की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु। ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेव महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हरि ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम।
प्रेम से बोले राधे वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय।